Ah, howdy. I'm here. I'm here. Now to try one more time to shove this thing down Twitter's throat. Nope, it's not going to do it. Give it the skill to do it. Am I upside down? Does that read correctly? Does that say Raiders? Doesn't say Raiders on my end. How about now? Is it right? So the app decided that it needed to crap all over me right as I hit start. It erased all my pictures. It said, oh, you've got to sign up for another year of this crap. Basically. So much fun. Right as you hit start, it says, yeah, no, you got to reset up everything. Everything. So I had to tell it how to find YouTube. I had to try and upload music. I decided to tell it to put this back up on there, of which I'm going to have to take that back down and I'm going to have to fix it because obviously that's not big enough. It's not bright enough. It's not colorful enough for me. So, does it at least say Raiders now? Or is it... Is it still jacked up? I could still play with this stuff. I'm wider now. Hard to read white on a washed out background. Same problem I've had for, well, long enough that it's been difficult to say. Yeah, to do that I have to spend more time screwing around with a widget so I can get the exact perfect color so that the letters will actually stay out there long enough. Yeah, the white is difficult. Like where the word change is right now, it obviously is right there on a mortar line. So yeah, there is some issues here. I apologize. I definitely apologize for being late. I did not intend to be late. I was 4 minutes ahead of schedule when I hit start. Can I put a border on the letters? Yes, I can put a border on the letters of anything that I'm putting up here in front, like this. But let's see what I can do here. Let's, of course, change that to. Oh yeah, let's go with a whole different language I don't even understand. That would be awesome. And let's see about doing this. Yeah. Okay, done. Here we go. Let's try this. Anyways, I didn't want to do all that while trying to do it live. And I didn't know I was going to have to be doing any of this. I mean, just finding the song. In case any of y'all are looking for that specific, just wordless song, if you're on the Prism app and you go to, if you swipe the correct direction and you find the spot where it says, you know, you're able to look at the media and all that. Oh, I need, come on. Come on, Phil. Phil, I do not need anybody doing sign language in that box down in the corner. I can take care of that all by myself. Sorry, Phil. Had to say it. Huva Ilta Boris. Great to see you, brother. Oh, God. So, yeah, the Prism app just completely nuked the whole system right as I was going to start. And, man, did I just get completely just frustrated. Not mad, frustrated. Oh, way beyond a Martin moment. I almost got to that section of life where I would say that I was mad. But I reined it in. I said, you know what? The show must go on. Let's not break stuff just because I'm a little frustrated. Not a problem, Phil. Great having you here as always. Even though normally you don't say anything, but I know why, so it's all good. Thug, me. I have often said I'm a Neanderthug. My knuckles do still scrape the ground, but I'm slightly smarter than a Neanderthal. Okay, my knuckles scrape the ground because my arms are freakishly long, but that's besides the point. Yes, my arms are freakishly long. I would love to be able to prove that to people, but short of you being here to see how unnaturally long my arms are, it's really rather difficult to show you. The easiest way to prove it to you is for me to just sit there and jab at you while backing up. Chances are you ain't going to get nowhere near me without getting dotted in the damn eye about 50 or 60 times before you actually get in close enough that we can really start dancing. That's the disadvantage of really, really long arms. It's like throwing a kick, but it's just a jab. Well, it's your disadvantage, not mine. But you see all the time, people, sports stars, are judged by their wingspan. Watch a UFC event, guaranteed they're going to say, reach this amount. And I have very, very rarely seen anybody that is in any kind of fighting shape that has a reach that is longer than mine. Once or twice I've seen it, but very, very rare. My problem with having extremely long arms is it's hard to put the muscle on when you're extremely long-limbed that way. You can be strong, but you're not going to have that bulky, you go to flex, you're not going to look like Hulk Hogan. Never going to get that. Not out of me. But think about it. These guys who do a marvelous job at the bench press, for the most part, they're moving that bar about half as far as I have to just to call it a bench press. If I only had to go half as high, I bet you I could do twice as much too. Damn it. It's also kind of pain in the ass when it comes to push-ups. See, there's drawbacks, there's limitations, there's problems. That's true, Boris. I'm telling you, right off at the nubs. Now, one of the advantages is I can reach out from like half the room away and slap a pretty girl in the butt. And some other guy is going to get blamed for it because there's no way anybody else but that other guy was close enough. Just remember, slap softly. You want them to enjoy it. Unfortunately, if I want them to enjoy it and think that it was me, I have to be the only guy in the room. And that means I'm going to get slapped hard. So I will keep those little love taps for Holly. Thanks, you're welcome. by the way, in case y'all are looking at the new description of the live stream, it's switched up a little bit because I had to put something on there just to try and make sure that it stays legal to YouTube standards. It also now says, "I am not your parent." See, now Boris, I'm really good at the deadlift because if it moves an inch off the ground, I'm already standing all the way up. I mean, I'm not going to try and get into a bench press competition. I'm going to lose. Though I will, funny enough, every once in a while I will get into those arm wrestling competitions. Because I can cheat. Sort of. I'm never going to win, but I can cheat. Now you're trying to figure out, you can't win, but you can cheat? Well, is it cheating if you don't win? Yes. If your arm is crazy long, you can position your arm to the right spot so that they have to try and push your wrist all the way back through your elbow. And short of being way stronger than any human I've ever heard of, you're just not going to do that. I can wear you out and never budge. Good friend of mine, wrestler, Greco-Roman style, not professional. Got arms like tree trunks. It's ridiculous. But he's only 5 foot tall. He's built like a fire plug. I've seen him just destroy people at arm wrestling. And then when he tried to arm wrestle me, he was like, "This ain't right. I can't do it. There's no way I can do anything with this." I know. So we'd laugh because I couldn't beat him. There is no way I could beat him. But he couldn't beat me, and he would just destroy other people because their arms not being as long as mine. It's fun. Extremely fun. Oh. Of course, with him being short, he used to always try to hang out with me because anytime somebody would be like, "Hey, can you get that?" He'd be like, "No, I can't." But guy over here with the freaking longest arms in the world, he can reach it and not even have to jump. Because they'd always put something way up over his head. Of course, I never had to reach for anything on the bottom shelf either. Hey, Rob. And yes, his name was Rob. Is still Rob. Oh, goodness. So, in case y'all missed it earlier, I smoked a Cuba Cuba. Oh. I am happy to report that the flavor of a Cuba Cuba goes away fairly rapidly. I'm unhappy enough with my performance of my last statements there to remind myself that I needed to say this. There is a certain amount of a sweetness to their infusions that you're going to notice if you ever smoke a Cuba Cuba. Notably, I'm fairly certain that only Boris is here from, or is also here from my morning excursion with the Cuba Cuba. But Boris, I got a feeling you probably, with very little training, could have been really, really dangerous in arm wrestling. There is a lot of technique, though, that goes into arm wrestling. Eden! Howdy, sir. Welcome back. Glad that you could be here again. So, Eden, did you find the Cuba Cubas anywhere? You were interested. I just figured I'd ask. I did recommend the Liga Privada. The T52 and the number 9. If you're looking for those small cigarillos, that would be where I would go. Oh, I am sorry. I'm not trying to pry into your financial status. I just figured you probably went looking for them. Powerlifting and strongman stuff. How come that doesn't surprise me that somebody who looks like he is chiseled from a small portion of Thor would probably be into powerlifting and strongman type stuff? Just a curiosity. Oh, if you found one of the Liga Privada ones in your jar and just smoked it. Oh, nice. Ooh, Papa Fritas. Yes. Papas Fritas. That is the Unicos. Now, the Papas Fritas is a small, about as big around as a Lancero, but short. It's not going to be one of those that takes you forever. If you like the Papas Fritas, you can also look for one that's called the Nasty Fritas. And it will be cone shaped, but technically it's called a pyramid. Not a problem. That was long ago. Sure, it was long ago. Boris says that he's old, and yet I've got more gray hair than he does. It's all that cold weather. It's a preservative. I'm sure of it. Now, Eden, I didn't say that it wasn't a good cigar or that it wouldn't drop you on your hindsight if you weren't careful. Howdy, Steve. Great to have you here, sir. And say hello to Miss Kathy if she's there as well. The number 9 and the T52 are similar. They are not the same, but some of that flavor that you got, it's going to be there. Yes, papas fritas does sound like food. In fact, it sounds like French fries, because that's what they call French fries in France. Papas fritas. I believe it's also what they call French fries in Spain. Well, fried potato. Eden. It literally means fried potato. But that is what they call French fries. And I know if you go into Mexico and you ask for papas fritas, it's going to be French fries. That's correct, Yardism, also known as Chad. It is called pommes frites in France. And there's Boris also informing me I was wrong. Yeah. That's right, I can't even pronounce Canadian. Canadian. I'm sure I'm going to get it right one of these days. Steve, oh God. 2 hours worth of catching a replay. That's ridiculous. Not a problem, not a problem. Yeah, the Papas Fritas and the Nasty Fritas, both of them are excellent little small cigars by the Drew Estates Company. Mike, howdy, sir. Great to have you there. So if your nicotine tolerance is very low, Eden, I would suggest going for Connecticut cigars. That's not specifically that they were made in Connecticut. That means it has a Connecticut wrapper. Those tend to be the lightest in flavor and in nicotine. It's going to save you a bunch of heartache from when you try something like the Punch Diablo. Now, Eden, I'm just being honest with you. There's a cigar out there called the Punch Diablo. There's also one called a Jacob's Ladder. If you get a hold of either one of those after saying that your tolerance for nicotine is as low as it is, be prepared to A, sit very still, B, have a sugary drink, and C, have a medic alert bracelet on call, because you probably are going to be too jacked up to even press the button. Mike, say garage. Nasty Fritas, yes, are the same exact recipe. It's just that it's a cone-shaped one instead of a regular round shape. So not like this, but more. It looks like a funnel, and it just gets stronger as it comes back. They actually smoke extremely slow. It's interesting. The first time I looked at a Nasty Fritas, I was like, this ain't gonna be for crap. But it was pretty damn good, and it smoked excellently, which is what you almost always can expect from a Durastate cigar, is that the construction's going to be on point. Well, if you like the strong flavors, Eden, I'm going to kind of worry about you, but there's some cigars out there that are really going to hurt you. That if you're liking the strong flavors, I want to recommend, but I also don't want you to be going goofy in the brain by the time you get there. And what I mean by goofy in the brain, you get that head rush. You have to stay seated. You end up feeling actually physically ill, possibly throwing up. I can do that to a person with cigars. I know that I can. I choose to not if I can avoid it. But Eden, if you ever see a cigar that is listed as double or triple Ligero, and don't ask me how to spell Ligero, then I want you to be extremely careful, because that is the strongest nicotined leaf that is used in cigars. It would be like Perique in pipe tobacco. It's going to be the strongest of the nicotines. Now, Burley and Perique are both very strong in nicotine. Burley gives me the hiccups, and Perique is a Burley that is processed in a different way, so it's still Burley, but it doesn't give me the hiccups. So I like Perique better than I like Burley. But both of them are going to be that strong, hit you in the face with nicotine. And I don't try to get people to that point where they get sick. Oh, yes, sir, Steve. Yeah, that $20 a pop, 20 plus a pop for the cigar, the Davidoff Late Hour in the Churchill size. Yeah. It probably should light itself and help you smoke it, but if you're into Scotch, or at least you like the slight flavors that you would get from that cigar that tend towards Scotch because it was aged in a Scotch cask, then there's very few cigars out there that are going to compete with those flavors. Now, if this bee would like to go away, I would like for him to go away anyways. Howdy, Citizen Tom. Glad to have you in, sir. Oh, I am completely lost on the amount of time. Hey, we're down to 15 minutes. You know what? I apologize for this, but hey, bowl call. Except for those of us who are smoking a stick, and mostly I'm smoking a stick because I'm expecting more rain. You will notice a complete lack of cicadas. They're expecting rain too. I am smoking the almost always present on a Friday Alec Bradley Black Market Robusto. It's 965 in a... Okay, I'm not even going to try and say the C word, but Bulldog. Caxra? Yeah, I'm going to screw that up. Unless, of course, it was Caxra, and then I guess... I love 965, though. Oh. Chad's telling me right now that he is right now smoking the Friday Savinelli with Haunted Bookshop. Because he got number 13. And how do I know that he got number 13? He told me about it. And I was like, damn it! That would have been the one I wanted. Really, seriously, would have been the one I wanted. But it's Chad's. So, unless Chad passes and somehow wills it to me in his will, I will never smoke that particular pipe. And Chad, I'm not saying that I need to be in your will. Just statement of fact. There is no other way that I am going to be smoking that pipe, short of that type of thing happening. And that's all I've got to say about me smoking the number 13. It's never going to happen. I don't ever want to see it. Well, I want to see it. I love seeing that pipe. It's awesome. Howdy, Steph. Glad to see you, ma'am. Well, seriously, Steve, I can't send the rain any more than that. It's not obeying what I want it to do. Nobody's smoking right now. Just me and a few others. No problem. Ooh, Bulldog with a copper spigot. Nice. Cabot, Steph, that's just wrong. Woodlands isn't traffic. You're still 10 miles away from traffic. Woodlands gets pretty freaking trafficy at certain times of the day. I actually do know this. Oh, Steph, yeah. Skip was saying that y'all were experiencing portions of that turd floater earlier today. Yeah. You better get some deep woods off and whole bunch of other things that I could think of that'll work too. A bunch of those little zapper lanterns, you know the ones, you plug them in. Well, Martin knows what they are. Oh yeah, we all know that. Yeah, high school traffic is about as fun as, well, there's nothing fun about it at all. Mostly because you know every one of them brain dead children that basically got to run away with zero responsibilities is out there cruising around in a car that mommy and daddy bought for them, and They have no idea what in the heck they're doing. I mean, look, I was a kid once. I remember when I thought, oh yeah, I could drive this. Man, I wish I knew as much then as I do now about driving. Come on, Chad, you have standing water every time you go pee. When you're just going pee, you can stand and make water. Tom, not a problem. That's really what we're here for, is just to have a good day. Trying to, anyways. I just try to get people used to typing on their screens and devices and giving them a little bit of a heads up that, hey, the next show's coming. Boris has no mosquitoes. Mostly because they freeze in mid-flight and fall to the ground and shatter and die. At least that's how I believe that mosquitoes react in Finland. I know, not actually true, but I don't know about mosquitoes not liking anybody's blood, but I will say that for a couple of years when I wasn't at work, I stayed so drunk that any mosquito that bit me died of alcohol poisoning before it could fly away. I had issues. I worked my issues out. Some of the stuff that I had to work through was my own personal problems, and some of it was just trying to not be pissed off permanently. Ooh, Steve, you ain't lying. You get anywhere near a rice field and you start getting mosquitoes swarming, it's a swarm. Ah, okay. Log cabin with mosquitoes. Mike, the issues I have now are now that I have learned to overcome having issues, and most of mine being anger issues, the inability to control my temper. I've just learned better control. It comes with age. I know it comes with age. Maybe it comes with the fact that your body stops healing like it used to back when you were a teenager, where you could slam through a brick wall, go in the wrong direction, and get up, dust yourself off, and be like, that didn't hurt. Now I even tap into a brick wall just wrong, and I'm going, man, I wish I hadn't have done that. Getting older. I just don't heal as fast as I used to. That cured a lot of my anger issues, because I'm not invincible. Not like I thought I was. Very, very rarely do I get eaten up by mosquitoes unless I am out here by myself. Mike, there's the possibility of a cattle prod, but I don't remember cattle prods. She is a damn good shot, though. Okay, her eyesight's not as bad as mine, so when I say she's a damn good shot, and actually a better shot than me, using handheld firearms, I can still hit a target at 200 yards, center mass, human-sized target. But she's hitting in that spot that tells you she's really hitting center mass. I can just barely kind of see it from 200 yards. Bad eyesight. And yes, we all definitely have issues. That is very, very true. I've been zapped by a few of those flying, stinging bugs of various different types. And I can tell you that I have been zapped by some tasers. But of course, the police taser didn't hit me exactly right, and all the years of being an electrician, I just kind of like tensed up, and then I yanked the damn barbs out, and I watched the look on the cop's face as he was like, had it been a little higher or a little lower and not been so close together, I'd have been in trouble. But the barbs were close enough together that it only electrified like 10 or 15 muscles right there in the stomach. It hurt, don't get me wrong, it hurt. But it wasn't across the heart, and it wasn't into any of the leg muscles that would have had me like jerk up because the leg would tense and spasm. It was just right there in the stomach area, and it made me want to hunch over a little bit, but spent some time getting electrocuted by my own stupidity. I kind of figured out how to not do all that same exact things, but you still get that same tingly feeling that you get as an electrician, where you go, I'm going back for more. Steve, very, very true. Learning to control myself with age. Best thing I ever learned. Oh, well, there's people that think I've got it easy. And then I have to leave a perfectly good live stream with a perfectly hellaciously cigar so that I can go make coffee. I've never been in the solid bar state there. Well, I've been behind some solid bars. Okay, yeah, I inspected a few prisons for their boilers. You still got to get behind the iron bars to get there. You know, the crazy thing is, they don't want you to take a camera or a phone into the prisons, even though they make sure that you are going to be nowhere near any inmates. They don't want you to take a camera or a phone. And they make that extremely apparent that you're not getting in here with a camera or a phone. And I asked them, well, how many new boilers have you installed? 15. I said, well, then I'm going to need my camera. Well, you can't bring it in. Well, then I'm going to need to take my phone. Well, you can't bring that in. Well, then I'm going to need somebody to stand by each and every one as the state tells me which ones are going to be legal and which ones aren't, so that I can tell you which ones to lock out. Because I'm not coming back in. If the state has any issue, I'm not coming back in. I'm just going to send the state to go lock it out. Okay, well, you can bring your camera or your phone. One or the other, pick. Oh, my camera happens to be my phone. Oh no, I ain't going up there to get strapped into a bull. Hell no. I learned about that stupidity when I was a kid. If you go and if you know where Kingsville is, if not, you can look it up. I lived at the location known as 713 Santa Anita. And if you pull back from that, you can find that I lived basically across the street and through somebody's yard away from Texas A&I. It's now Texas A&M Kingsville. And one neighborhood and just a little bit away, and I could be on the King Ranch. I don't need to be anywhere near live cattle anymore. Closest I'm going to get to live cattle nowadays is when they finally lift this COVID crap and we can start having Rodeo Houston again. And that'll be plenty close enough for me. Let's just say I've seen a few things and I don't want to play with them big old animals like that no more. There's some powerful cattle out there, and you just really don't want to tangle with them. Of course, the longhorn is also known as the sea lion of Texas. You would not believe how well they swim. Yo, Tom. Yeah, that's I mean, if you were, well, sorry about your luck. If it was because it was just some crooked BS, well, damn. There's a lot of people here in America that do not realize how good we have things. I mean, campaigning for a church to be built will not get you arrested in the United States of America unless you are on private property trying to campaign. And then it could be by virtue of trespassing. Steve, I'm telling you, there's some crazy people out there. I forget what movie it was. I think it was Old Dogs, where They said, yeah, the thing to do is slap the bull. You jump the fence, run up to the bull, slap the hell out of it, and run back to the fence. And then the next person tries it. Unfortunately, the bull's awake by that point in time. Well, Tom, I will say this. The anonymous callers would have a difficult time convincing the cops that I'm doing anything that I'm not actually allowed to do physically. That's because the cops know me. And like I said, I'm still living in the same town where I made barbecue and, well, brisket, that is, and got some vegans to leave. Now, I'm in a different location now, but they know who I am. Of course, they also know that file of junk from when I was much younger and couldn't stay out of trouble. One time, one of the cops pulled up here, and they were like, hey, we got this report that you were out here arguing with somebody. And I looked at him, and I said, so what do you think? And he said, yeah, I didn't think so. Why not, officer? He says, because if you were physically arguing with them, you would still be out here arguing with them. There's no way that you're just going to walk away from it. We already know that. Okay. He's like, well, take care. Have a good one. And on he went. They actually made that pass just to make sure that I wasn't actually physically assaulting somebody at the time. Decline. I apologize right now if you happen to be in Mississippi and you think you're going to call me, but it might have been Terrence Moose Lips. Who can forget that guy? Uh-oh, hey, it's 4:07. I think Chad's supposed to be on. Chad, are you on? Is Chad here? Hello, Chad. Yeah, Boris, vegans in Texas is kind of interesting. All right, so I've got a sneaking suspicion that Chad is live. And if not, I've got a sneaking suspicion that Chad's supposed to be live. So I'm going to turn this over to Chad as quickly as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, so much fun having y'all here today. I'm apologizing outrageously for being late. Not really my fault. I can't control when the app decides to shit the bed. And that's what it did today. Yay! So I fixed it as best I could, and we're back on. All right. So to get us out of here as quickly as we can, y'all remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Y'all do the best you can with that. It's so much fun having this community that that's really the best way that we can survive. And as per always, remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I'm going to see you at Chad's house here in a minute. Bye for now.